Well, hello there. It's another workday. If you're new here, my name's Erin Lucy. I'm the author of 9 novels and 3 novellas, all sweet romantic comedies. You can find them at Amazon, and you can sign up to my newsletter below if you would like to know about my upcoming releases. So today, it is not nearly as delightful as it was last week. However, I kind of am enjoying the clouds and the rain. So I was just reading, there's supposed to be a super El Nino this year. So that means for my area, it means dry and hot. So if it can rain now, then I'm on board with that. And actually, I don't know, it feels kind of nice. Just rainy and a little chilly. And yeah, we've had weird weather. I suspect it's going to get a lot weirder. If you could see my cat right now, which I'm sure she'll make an appearance, she's just peering out the window and it's so cute. I haven't even planned my work day because I just haven't. I am going to sit here and I'm going to think. So we're going to have some thinking time, kind of like, Blue's Clues. I need to get my handy dandy notebook. This is my handy dandy notebook and it's blue underneath. I just put this, what is this called? Not scrap, it's a scrapbooking paper. That's what it is. Yeah, I need to sit here and think about what I want to accomplish today. I have a good idea, but I want to write it down and make my to-do list. And we've got, let's see, it's around 11, probably 10:30 right now actually, and I've got until 4:30 to work. I'm having allergies today also, so if I'm sniffing or if I sound stuffy, that's why. And I think it might be, I don't know. I was doing quite well with my eating and then I overate the last couple days, and especially corn. So I'm like, am I allergic to corn? I don't know. I might very well be. So anyway, I'm gonna get back on track today and I think I'll feel better tomorrow. So I thought, why don't we do something a little differently today, and we'll do a bit of a plan with me. This pen is not acceptable. I used to like these. These are Jetstream unis. I don't know. Don't like them anymore. So must have the Papermates. I like the 1.4, but I don't know if I have any right now. But they're really fun to write with. Let's see. Do I have a 1.4? I do. Let's write with one of those today. I've become picky about my stationery and my writing utensils in my old age. This is a Stalogy A5 Stalogy. Ideally, I would like the Sterling ink notebooks, but they cost quite a bit more. But the paper quality of the Sterling ink notebooks is not a lot nicer, but it just is nicer than this. Anyway, so okay, so I'm just gonna jot down kind of what I know I need to do. So I need to write. I can't even see my writings. Can we do this in a better way? I don't know. Let me see if I can do this better. We're improvising here, so need to get my computer out of the way. Put this down here. I'm running out of space. It's fine. So I need to, you still can't really see, but I need to write my newsletter and send it. Well, set it to send. I send on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And so I need to do that. And I need to plan my social media for next week. Create 2 shorts to fill in the gaps. And what else? Well, I never ordered a author copy of Unsung, so I need to do that. Let's see what I didn't do last week. I did almost everything I needed to do, actually, looks like. Okay then, well that's good. Let's see if any further back. I'm just gonna do non-writing things too. I need to make a photo book of my son's pictures. Make photo book. I need to order photo book. And I need to send invitations. And you can't see a darn thing because my cat wants to be in on this. Of course she does. And I want to do, oh my goodness, kitty. So I think after, well, no, let's make this pretty now. I'm going to make my list pretty. I gotta move you. I gotta move you. I gotta move you. Okay. Wow, this cat is, she just won't stop. I wanted to talk a little bit about the science fiction that I'm working on, and it's a really old story from probably like 2018 and 2019. And the thing is, I thought it was good at the time, and there's good ideas and good parts to it, but I was working on it this week just for fun. And I realized, gosh, this just isn't good enough. Like, there's parts that I legitimately think aren't very good because I just didn't really know as much of what I was doing then. So I'm just gonna, I guess, keep working on that story just when I want to for fun. And we'll see. Maybe I'll release it at the end of the year because it's mostly written. I think I've got like 55 to 60,000 words written in it and maybe 20,000 more to go. Again, it needs really extensive edits, and right now I've only edited chapters 1 and almost all of chapters 2, but I ran out of steam last night. So I don't know like what I would do. I'm just gonna ponder with you right now, like, what should I do? Should I create a super secret science fiction pen name, or should I let you all know what my science fiction pen name is? Will that cause cross-contamination on Amazon? I don't know. So that's something I'm gonna have to ponder. Do I have time to really dedicate like rapid release the science fiction? Heck no. But like, what if I released one a year? And would I very slowly get a readership? Maybe. Or would it just be for fun for me? I don't know. Drop me a note in the comments if you would like to know my science fiction pen name when it comes out. I do have one chosen, although I can't remember what it is right now. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah, I have one chosen. I don't know, something to think about. I wanted to do a little segment here. We're just going to segue to another segment. I want to try to share things that I learned this week about publishing, because I learn something new every week. And I would say I will also point you to people or resources that will help you level up your game. Unlike a lot of people, it seems like everyone has all this money to go to conferences. I've not been to a conference ever, except way long ago. There's this conference that's only a half an hour. Well, no, I went to 2 because they were here and I was able to drive to them. Yeah, I just can't go to conferences, and I have FOMO because everyone seems to be able to go to conferences and learn all this wonderful stuff. And I'm just here like combing it off of the internet and doing the best that I can to piece it together. But I wanted to point you to a resource. Her name is Becca Simon. She does the Quickcast, and you can follow her on Facebook. So I would say like go check her out on Facebook. And she did a post this week about, she really wrapped up in a nice little, I don't know what to call it. I don't know. She broke down basically the state of publishing ever since the Kindle came out, and was talking about there was a Kindle gold rush and there was not enough books to fulfill demand, but then that demand, or the books, oversaturated the market. And then like in 2018 TikTok came along, and that was a way that people had used to find new books. But now TikTok is oversaturated, and now Amazon is oversaturated by AI generated books, and people just speeding up their process because they're using AI to assist in it. And so it's a really intriguing post, and she talked about how going forward, and this is kind of where I've been landing on this, is that we need to focus on the quality of our stories. And I think of it like this. It's like every time I contact a reader, when I say contact, I mean they see me online, or they see an ad that I maybe put on Facebook, or they actually read my book. Like, that's a chance for me to connect with that person and to retain them potentially as a long-term fan. And so if I just put, crap books out there, maybe I will capture someone's attention through an ad, but then they'll read my book and they'll be like, yeah, I'm over this, and then they'll never come back to me again. So that's kind of, I think, what Becca's point was in that post. And there's most everyone in the comments was agreeing with her take that quality is really going to be the thing that's going to make people stand out. And when you do get attention, you want to make sure that you have quality behind it, like a quality book with good, basically just, good storytelling. She had 4 elements that she said you really need to focus on. I'm trying to remember. One of them was openings, so you can really hook your reader. Closing up plot threads, and there was 2 more, but I don't remember. I think I'm pretty good at both of those, I think. I know when I started writing, maybe my beginnings were a little too, especially for sweet romance, my beginnings were a little too long. And now I try to make my FMC and my MMC, I try to make them meet no later than like chapter 2, because I feel like that's what the readers want. And then I can close up plot threads pretty well, and that's, I think, because I have a lot of practice doing big picture thinking. So I've designed web applications that were like ginormous, and I've written a lot of novels, so my brain is accustomed to organizing lots of parts and pieces into a whole that makes sense. So I find that a lot of times my plot threads, I finish them out or I close them out just naturally, because I don't know, it just makes logical sense. Like, you'd be surprised how much of writing is actually logical. It's not all just right brain. There's a lot of logic that goes into it. And it's funny because I was writing code this week, and I was like, and I could tell how my writing helped me. My creative writing was helping me write my code. Like I said, I think it's just because I've been doing that big picture thinking for a long time, and it's just it's a practice skill, because I know when I first tried to write a novel, I was unable to conceptualize an entire novel at one time, whereas now I can kind of do that. So anyway, yeah, check out Becca Syme. She has a YouTube channel. I believe it's called The Quick Cast, but I'm sure if you just Google Becca, or whatever, search for Becca Syme on YouTube, and you will find her channel. And then again, you can follow her on Facebook, because she makes a lot of her posts public. So you don't have to be a friend with her to be able to see some of the things that she talks about. She's very into the Clifton Strengths, which I have never done. I've never taken that test. I know she's kind of really brought that into the writing world, and a lot of people are now aware of where their strengths and weaknesses are, and it seems to help them in running their business. That was one thing I ran across this week. I just wanted to share with you. The only other thing I think I want to talk about is that I've been thinking about running a business holistically, whereas in the past I hadn't thought about that. But when I say holistically, I think like I am the product, and my brain creates the product, basically. Like, it's so how I feel, how I take care of myself, my self-talk, and whether I get enough sleep, whether I'm letting myself get too stressed, like all of these things play into whether or not I'm able to sit down and write. And so thinking holistically, I've very much started changing my diet to get rid of refined carbohydrates, because they give me brain fog and they make me forget words. I do also want to start like a more regular weight training regimen, because I found some people on Instagram that have been talking about how it's a myth that you can't build strength after you no longer have as much estrogen. So essentially, like, women in menopause can build as much strength as younger women. So I really like to hear that, because I thought, well, yeah, great. Now I'm just going to be weak because I'm old and I don't have as many hormones circulating. But all that to say, it matters, because the more muscle you have on your body, the longer you're going to potentially live, because as soon as your muscle starts going, you fall, you hurt yourself, and such and such. It may seem like it doesn't relate, like going to the gym and lifting weights, but it does, because if I want to write until I kick the bucket, which I do, I need to be in shape. My body needs to be in shape physically. My brain needs to be in shape and everything. So that's just one of the things that I've been pondering as far as running a business and trying to get in the mindset of someone who runs a successful business. Because even though, like, I'm not turning a profit right now, I want to live in a way that I will be living when I do turn a profit, if that makes sense. Like, it's time for me to implement these good practices now in order to plan ahead for my business to succeed. Does that make any sense? I hope so. It's kind of a ramble, but I think now I'm going to work on getting my newsletter written. And of course, Kitty is laying on my notebook. It's fine. I'm gonna have to move her because I've, can you see her? Yeah, I gotta put my laptop down and she's not gonna be too happy about that, but sorry, kitty. Well, that took entirely too long. It is now 1:30 and the sun is coming out and my hair is dry. It's been a while. So what I did was I wrote and sent my newsletter, and then I was like, you know what? I need to do some newsletter cleanup or, some things in MailerLite. So what I haven't been doing recently is after I send out my ARC, I haven't been emailing my ARC team to say, hey, here are the links. You can leave your review now. So I sent that out. And then I was like, I need to do this newsletter cleanup because I've got a lot of subscribers that are inactive or haven't even opened an email. So it took me a while to wrap my brain around how on earth am I going to do this in the best, most efficient way possible that I'm not going to screw up. What I ended up landing on was creating a form in MailerLite that's embedded or whatever, and it comes with a link. So then I just put the link in an email that I sent to all of those inactive subscribers, and I tested it, so it should work. So anyone that puts their email in the form and clicks subscribe or whatever will be included, or wow, words. They will remain on my list, or I will make them remain on my list, because one thing you have to be careful about is that sometimes your stats, I only have used MailerLite. My phone just filled up, so I can't quite remember what I was talking about. But I think it was, if you're a writer and you're in indie publishing, you have a newsletter or you started one, and you just need to know that sometimes your stats that your mail provider gives you are not accurate. So sometimes people are actually opening your emails even though your stats aren't updated. And then the other thing is, me personally, I'm on a lot of lists that I want to stay on, but I don't always open the emails because I just want to be reminded that that person exists for when I have time to actually, either read their book or take their class that they're offering or whatever. So I sent in my email to those people that, I understand that these things happen, and do you really want to stay on my list or do you not? Let me know. And if they want to, they have to click on the form, whatever. So I got that done, and now I need to load some of my videos on my phone onto OneDrive, or else I'm not going to be able to finish this vlog. So I'm going to do that, and it looks kind of nice out, but I was thinking for a minute that I might take a walk, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go make myself lunch, and then I will let all my videos go to OneDrive while I'm eating, and hopefully when I get back I'll have more space to maybe talk a little bit more about maybe, I don't know, writing, because I tire of the admin work. Honestly, I want to maybe spend an hour and a half at least. It's now 2 o'clock actually, and I would like to edit or write or something, because that's what this is all about. So here I go. I'm back. I ate lunch and I walked on my walking pad for about 15 minutes. I've been trying to do that because it can lower your blood sugar right after you eat, and I actually find that if I do walk, my digestion feels better. I don't feel as stuffed after 15 minutes. I don't overeat or stuff myself, except the last couple days I did. And I don't enjoy that feeling. But yeah, if you feel a little full or your stomach just feels a little weighed down, just walk for 15 to 20 minutes. It makes a big difference. And so I realized last week I kind of talked about this new writing challenge that I want to start, which is to write 2 books in 10 weeks. And I'm going to kick that off, actually. I'm going to kick it off on Monday. And the plan is to write book 5 and book 6 in my Unruly Rockstar series, and to write an average of 1,000 words a day per book. So what I really need to do is sit here and plan out my next week. So I need to plan out what scenes I want to write, and I need to have the scene beats ready to go. I need to think about my characters, what makes them tick. I just kind of need to get in their heads a little bit. So can I do this? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at this point, but let's do this together and see if I can. One thing that I have always done is I read multiple books at a time, and I don't know why. I read like a chapter of one, and then I skip to another one, and then read a chapter of that one. So I don't know this. I may be able to keep this many stories in my head, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to take you along with me. For now, I'm going to start prepping for those stories and just get them in my head. I think that's pretty much all I have for today. The only thing I did do while my photos and my videos were uploading to OneDrive is I did my to-do list for next week. I drew some flowers because I enjoy doing that, and so I've got the goals that I need to do. One of them, get an x-ray, because I gotta go back to see if I have any kidney stones, which I don't think I do, but they want to check me every year. So yep, that's where we're at, and I'll take you along with me here for a little bit, and then we shall close out of this video.